Heisman candidate right there, folks. You can do it all. What's up, everybody? How's it going? All good, all good.
One more step in.
Sure.
Thank you.
Who wants to go first?
So rev share, have you guys decided on plan percentages and all that stuff?
Yeah, we're working through the details, waiting for the settlement to get finalized, and we'll be ready when we get to that, hopefully next week.
What do you make about the pause about the roster limits not being established yet in that court case?
Yeah, we're anxious to see what those conversations look like. I think it's more important to get it right than it is to get it done, and it seems like we're very close to that. So we've stayed close to the conference office, the Joint Defense Group, and so we're anxious for resolution, but we do believe that we're close to an outcome that's good for everybody.
So that initial number of 105 scholarships for football, do you feel like it's going to change when it's all said and done?
We'll have to better understand what are they grandfathering in, what is the solve. One thing we've always been prepared to do is that any athlete that got affected by a roster cut, we were going to honor their financial aid commitment no matter what. So that may be something that becomes more the mainstream solve for what's happening national, but we've always been prepared that if somebody lost a roster spot, many of our sports have gotten smaller, that we were going to honor whatever original commitment they came here under.
Do you have any update on the DFA renovations?
Yeah, lots of exciting conversations going on in DFA. I think we're still tracking towards a summer announcement on a multi-year phased renovation that creates a great campus college basketball venue.
What's it like to see the football program in the state it is now compared to what it was a year ago?
It's awesome. I mean, we're here tonight, Fan Fest. We're trying a new concept. There were people lined up to get commemorative Coke bottles celebrating the Big 12 championship. We've got face painting, we've got donors upstairs, we've got elected officials. Really something for everybody here tonight, and a great football team. We were undefeated at home last year. This fan base is energized. We have over 6,000 new season ticket holders. This event was largely designed to welcome these season ticket holders to the Sun Devil family and make sure they understand the amenities that are here at the stadium, the kind of game day experience that we want to create. And oh, by the way, we have a pretty dang good football team as well. Well, we're adding over 225 scholarships across the department. Baseball is going to be on a full 34. We announced that before the baseball season. Hockey, softball, volleyball will be on full scholarships as well. It's at our coach's discretion. They have the ability to award these scholarships. They don't have to. So if there's a situation where they want a young athlete on as a walk-on, that's still going to be a concept that could exist. Somebody could grow into a partial scholarship. That partial scholarship could grow into a full scholarship. And so in the new environment moving forward, we have great flexibility on how we're doing it. Point being, we want to resource all of our programs to win at a high level. You're seeing a lot of schools that are picking a couple sports that they're adding scholarships to, and sometimes at the expense of other sports. We want to invest heavily in football and basketball. We need to do that to be successful, but we want all 26 to have a chance to be successful at a high level. And I think that's going to be harder and harder for most departments to do. It's a huge credit to Dr. Crow and the investment that the university's made into athletics, and we talked about it about a year ago, the new model of their students before their student athletes, and I haven't heard of many other schools that are adding 225 scholarships to what an athletic department can offer. It's a commitment that we want college athletics to be very successful at ASU. We want to recruit at a high level of student and athlete, and we want all 26 programs to have a chance of elite success.
When you have something like that affects so many people and is changing so much, what's that preparation like where it feels like things kind of flip on their head in each week?
It's a credit to the team and athletics. We've got about 300 people in this department. We're in front of the mics a lot. Our coaches are. I'm happy to speak on behalf of the department. We have a lot of people working very hard to navigate the change in our environment, the change in our rules, the increased focus on our fans, the increased focus on our game day in order to recruit at a high level. I'm just proud to go to work with the people here in athletics, and we are in unprecedented times, but what an exciting opportunity for us to figure out our voice in this moving forward. I've said this a lot publicly. I don't think there's ever been a better time in the history of college sports to be a Research One university, a metropolitan area, and a Power 4 athletic department, because we have access to everything. We have access to a fan base, we have access to corporations and community leaders and heads of business, we have access to scale, we have access to people that we can bring in as the next generation of Sun Devil fans, and the combination of that is very powerful at this time moving forward. So rules are changing. It seems like every day there's a new injunction or a new NCAA statement that's coming out regarding the environment, we're ready as it comes, and we can't wait to navigate the new environment that comes next.
Is there any influence you guys can have on how the case is finalized, or is that all kind of out of your hands?
I'd say it's out of our hands at an institutional level. We're lucky that the Big 12 has an incredible team that's been contributing with the other Power 4 conferences, and the NCAA is part of this joint defense group. Tremendous support from Commissioner Yormark and the team of the Big 12. So we're in constant conversation as one of the 16 institutions working with the Big 12, but the Big 12 will take that message forward into those conversations.
With everything being so fluid, how much of it is just, learning on the fly and adapting and adjusting with every single ruling and decision and statement that comes out?
Yeah, I think we're all in a constant ready position, and just staying agile and having convictions on what we want to accomplish here, but being mindful that we need to be fluid, we need to be adaptable in the environment that we're navigating, because it's unprecedented. Nobody's lived this iteration of college sports, and I think one of the attributes that's allowed us to have success this year in athletics is that we're in uncharted waters. So it's less about how it's always been done in the past. It's more about where we need to be resourced and prepared and ready moving forward. And people still love Sparky, so you can't. Sparky always gets a reaction, so that's good to see.
We heard it with baseball. Willie had talked about the scholarships, not necessarily being in place of NIL, but assisting NIL, and it's just another financial thing to aid the kids in making college cost less. Is that something you think could help across the board, not just in baseball?
Yeah, I mean, you think about a full scholarship at a university covers tuition, fees, and books, living expenses, housing, some additional money that they can use to make investments and navigate life in a metropolitan area. And so, again, for forever, I like to use baseball as an example. Since 1991, they've had 11.7 scholarships to spread across 40 people. That means everybody on the baseball roster has had to come out of pocket to go represent a university. A lot of times people are taking out loans or debt in order to represent a university. We need to be making that commitment to our athletes and their families. And so for baseball to be at 34 scholarships, for softball to be fully funded in the mid-20s, hockey in the high 20s, volleyball in the high teens, in addition to men's and women's basketball, football, etc., I think it's a significant statement that we want to resource our teams to compete and recruit at the highest level possible. And when you can go to a family and say, you're getting elite education, elite coaching, and we're investing in your young son or daughter in order to do that, pretty amazing commitment, and we're excited to be making that available.
It's a pretty strong Olympic sports. What impact do you think how someone's going to have in Olympic sports for you guys?
It's going to be really interesting to follow. You've already seen UTEP discontinued, women's tennis a couple weeks ago, Cal Poly's eliminated swimming. I sadly think you're going to see more of that happen at Olympic sport. And again, to the spirit of we're adding 225 scholarships, we're trying to go the opposite direction. Probably hasn't been since after World War II, where the land-grant schools made this investment into collegiate athletics, that there's been this kind of a seismic shift into the landscape in college sports. We think this is another iteration. We're having a lot of success in our Olympic sports. And so if this is a moment to resource, to get them ahead and stay ahead, we want to be prepared to do that. We had a heartbreaker earlier today. Beach volleyball took TCU to a fifth set overtime heartbreaker for what would have been our fifth Big 12 championship. It's important that beach volleyball is resourced and successful at ASU. This is a sport that's, gaining Olympic momentum. We have the Olympics in LA in 2028. Swim and dive and what we did in Paris, what we've done as a national champion program, winning the Big 12. It matters to our institution. We're a global brand as ASU, and that's why golf and triathlon and lacrosse and beach volleyball and ice hockey have a really significant place in this university setting. If we're going to do it, we want to do it at a high level, and we want to have success.
Go ahead, Michelle.
Did you learn anything logistically from the travels for football and basketball last year that are going to lead to changes next year?
I'm glad that we're not in the ACC or the Big Ten, and we've talked to a lot of our Pac-12 counterparts about their life in year one, and the Big 12 is by far the best conference for us to be traveling in. And think about, we always get the benefit of time zone coming back home. So I don't remember a game that we got back after 11:30 after a road game. Think about some of the other schools that are going west to east and then back home, and then having to wake up on a Sunday, lose an off day. Now they're into the practice week. This is a really good fit for us as a national footprint. The travel's been great. It was easier to get in and out of Lubbock than it was to go to the Bay Area and play Cal or Stanford. We're in great markets. We're in important markets. Having 4 schools in Texas has been really, really important for us. Central Florida and Florida gives us access to kids in the Southeast, which is really, really important. Cincinnati and Iowa State have opened up corridors on the East Coast, West Virginia as well. So year one of the Big 12 has been awesome, and we've been proud to join it. It's been a really good experience for our coaches and athletes moving forward, and particularly because we can maintain that connection to California. We see a lot of our sports keep playing USC, UCLA. We're trying to get in the Bay Area schools. We've had Oregon State in a number of our sports schedule. We want to maintain our presence on the West Coast. We really want to sink our teeth into Texas and Florida in all the ways that we can now.
College football playoff commissioners are currently meeting right now. There's obviously been a discussion what the format maybe.
What's it like for you to watch?
What is your, at least your the coming out of those discussions?
Where were you for the Big 12 championship?
The discussions are still happening, but there's still a little bit of it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be determined as we get into year 13 of the CFP, and then as they prepare for the next media negotiations coming up. I think the Big 12 should be on the same level playing field as the other Power 4 conferences. We're a Power 4 conference. We've got great brands in this conference. We're committed to building the brand of Big 12 football as one of 16. I know the other 15 are very much focused on the sport as well. So we're daily focused on CFP outcomes for the Big 12. Obviously, winning the conference championship helps. We were the beneficiary of that last season, but I think the second and third place teams in the Big 12 should definitely be in that conversation. And so we know Commissioner Yormark is big on that mindset of we're not second fiddle to the SEC or Big 10. There might be different reasons that people think otherwise, but the ACC and the Big 12 bring a lot into this conversation, and we want to make sure that we're imparting our place in the sport as often as we can.
Did you see the report about TV ratings potentially factoring into the college football playoff seeding, and just what are your thoughts on that if that became a thing?
I haven't seen that report, but I do know our TV ratings were up a huge amount now that we're on Fox and ESPN. And so you add the Peach Bowl in there, I think our total ratings were up 353% year over year. The fact that anywhere in the world people can get on ESPN or Fox's platforms and watch us play has been tremendous. They're incredible partners. We've talked to both of them this week. Back to Sam. Sam's a Heisman Trophy candidate, in our opinion. He's coming off a Big 12 championship team that played in the CFP. He's returning with that experience. He's a leader by example. We've had a lot of conversations with Fox and ESPN on how do we tell his story to the nation, and we're lucky to have those kind of partners. So I haven't heard TV ratings tied to CFP outcomes, but I'm glad that we have the media partners that we do, including all of you. And Michelle, I keep bumping her mic, so she might need to borrow sound bites from somebody else. So.
Everybody good?
Yep. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Graham.